Yo, I can't wait to hop into this with you because I got something for you for week one. And this is crazy because I've been talking to my boys about this really since these lines came out 3, 4 months ago. And I just don't understand it. I know that there's gonna be a lot of controversy going into this game, but let's look at the way these lines open for week one. Kansas City hosting Detroit, opening up as 6.5 point favorites. Now, what do we know about Kansas City? We know that Patty Mahomes does not like to cover the spread. We know that Andy Reid doesn't really cover the spread. What do we know about these Detroit Lions? They love to cover the fucking spread. So why wouldn't we be hammering this number? It opened at 6.5. People took it. They bet it. The early bettors, and they bet it up to 7. And now we see this back at 6.5. What does this tell you? Well, this tells you that the Lions is probably the sharp side to be on. Now, mind you, the Lions last year, I think they went 12-5 ATS. Now, here's what makes this even crazier is when you look and this is my way of looking at it, is that in a few weeks, because we may be able to get a better number. However, that just depends on how sharp bettors really move, because I know for me myself, I'm looking at this like I already locked in 7. When it hit 7, I locked it in. That's the number that you should be looking for, 7 or higher. Preferably if you can get 7 with the hook. I don't know if it'll go there, but here's what we're gonna see happen in the coming weeks. You're gonna see in these coming weeks, people will be betting the Kansas City Chiefs minus 6.5. They're gonna say Patty Mahomes by a touchdown. Why not? How can he not cover a touchdown? We know as sports bettors that Kansas City is not really good ATS. Detroit is. Here's something else to just ponder on as you think about this. Now, I think that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to have an amazing year. And the Detroit organization, I don't know what it is, but they must see something in Jared Goff enough to be like, this is the guy. This is who we're entrusting to lead this organization. At least from a performance standpoint, there seems to be a lot of buy-in with Jared Goff. We'll see how that plays off. Now, it's always, I know everybody talks about baby Goff hands or whatnot, but I've always been under the impression that like Jared Goff is not terrible. I think the situation that he inherited in Los Angeles and that Super Bowl loss, like, let's not forget that Sean McVay got out coached in that game as well. So I don't think all that blame is to be put on Jared Goff in particularly. But when I look at Detroit, real quick, I look at the DVOAs. This is the defensive value for offensive adjustment. And I see that offensively, their DVOA. The Detroit Lions, yes, the Detroit Lions last year were the 5th best team offensively in the category of passing, right? That is only behind Miami, San Francisco, Buffalo, and Kansas City. Now, we know that Kansas City doesn't have the greatest pass defense. I think that this game will be close. I think that David Montgomery is going to be a phenomenal addition to the Detroit Lions. And I truly do think that this game gets played closer to this touchdown than what the initial public is probably going to believe. And so you can get this number at 7 or higher and you lay it with Detroit, I think it's a phenomenal bet. Now, if you want to bet the other side and you want to bet KC, obviously you want to lay the 6.5. I don't think that this number gets down to 6. And if this number gets down to 6, we know that as bettors for the Detroit Lions on this spread, we know that we're on the right side. I'm not going to risk it. I already shopped around. I got the 7 when it hit 7. And there's a very good chance that this pushes. But look, I think that it's a great bet. It might be my favorite bet for week one. And for those of you that are interested, I do have the Detroit Lions sprinkled on the money line. I think this is a phenomenal spot for them. I think that the Detroit Lions, week one, are win or lose. I think that they're gonna put the league on notice. I think they're gonna put the league on notice, and that's gonna start with playing a very competitive game against Kansas City, led by Patrick Mahomes and company. So hey, this is Hot Box to Pick. I love y'all. It's been phenomenal, and we're gonna just keep giving out winners twice a week. You're gonna love it. Continue to tune in. Peace, love, and prosperity. Wishing you nothing but the best. Happy gambling. Peace out.